I'm a Bitcoin bestie.
Just waking up from a nice dream. Bitcoin pumping on a live stream. Smile shine brighter than a high beam. Ever seen live trading on a widescreen? Bitcoin showing you the steps to own it. We got the alpha, I bet you want it. I'm having fun, send a lecture on it. Randy, put a little extra on it.
It's mutable and decentralized. No censorship or hard cap supply. It's open source and we classify the blockchain secure, and that's exactly why. It's hard money with a new plan. It bounced a lot like this new jam. The Bitcoin dip, then we ain't gon' trip. I'ma be bullish on you, fam.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. 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 I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Zest. I'm your host, Randi Hipper, here today on a lovely Monday, post a weekend full of international drama. Are we entering World War III? Oh boy, we're going to be discussing Iran, the price impact. We also have news with Polymarket, Hong Kong. We have Steak and Shake, sailors buying Bitcoin. And then we have Elon Musk. SpaceX is going public. They're holding Bitcoin. What is the status with their Bitcoin stash? We also have X maybe targeting crypto users. Is this true? Is it not? This was the controversy over the weekend. We also have coins to watch and your market updates. So if you guys are ready for the zest, the news, the education, I kindly ask with the kindness of your heart to smash the like, subscribe, share this out with friends so more people know what's going on here. We have a goal of 150 likes, 150 live viewers, and a subscriber goal. We do those. We have goals and aspirations in life. 25,140 is the goal. Let's get 9 more and pamp it. Your girl did a lot this weekend. I did a lot. And I'm going to be posting more of my shenanigans over the course of the week. I did on-the-street interviews at NASCAR. So random. My life is so random. I went to NASCAR over the weekend and it was amazing. It was this weekend wholeheartedly was one of the best weekends of my life. And it was just so simple. It was so it was such a simple weekend in a way, but it was just so fantastic. And thank you to my friends for being my friends. And I just love the people around me, and I have a lot of love for you guys. So thank you. And also I did get coffee, but she's a little yeah, she's drippy today, so I was like, let me wrap her up in a little blanket. So that's what I got. We do have our coffee. It's called The Kicker from Dutch Bros. Plug, even though I'm not sponsored. Hi, Antonio. Say good morning to me as I say good morning to you, and smash the like. And check out our 3 amazing sponsors of the show, because we have sponsors that love us and we love them, including Cake Wallet, who just released a Lightning Network. And I believe today everyone could go download it. You don't need the beta test. So if you guys have done Lightning stuff with Cake Wallet, let me know how you like it. I'll be putting out some tutorials on this as well. We do have Market Cipher, guys. Market Cipher is amazing. Use code ZESTY for 15% off. And then go up to the moon with Uphold. We love Uphold so much. Shout out to Uphold. All right, guys, let's get into it. I want to say good morning to you guys, and then we're going to get into the show. We also have an after show, guys, for everybody. So this is a community after show. So just join the Discord. You'll be able to join it. But on Wednesdays and Fridays, it is exclusive for members only. And how do you become a member? You hit that little $ in the YouTube chat, and you become a member for $2.99 a month minimum. And then you get cool emojis. You get access to those shows. So let's do it. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. We got Silver Days. Good morning, Peace. Good morning, Flat Earth. Oh boy, I lost my spot. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, hello. Is anyone out there? Flat Earth, good morning. I said hello. Silver Days I got. Peace I got. Doge Bull, Mike Volmer, Mama Shadow is here. Jesse's chilling, Chipper's chilling, BBB, hi. As always, thank you to Black Hat Backup, good morning. Who else we got? Aquarian, I see Paco, good morning. Loco, good morning. We have Paco and Loco. I love that. Joe Harvey, good morning. Bobby F, I see. Good morning. John Shanks is here. Mark Smithson, I can't with this dude. Good morning, everyone. Yukio and Mike Mazzone are on X. Good morning. Silverback is here. Good morning to you, my friend. Gary's on multiple platforms with Peace. M2, good morning. It's always nice to see M2. Who else is here? Ian F. Glad I didn't lose my voice from the weekend shenanigans. You know what? I thought after last night, I definitely would have lost my voice. That's for sure. Last night, I went to a Riley Green concert at the Strawberry. So random, bro. There's a strawberry festival every year in Florida because we got them berries. And trust, I will show. Remember, like, remind me at the end of the show because I literally have a whole box full of strawberries. This was like one of my side quests. It was one of my main missions of the day yesterday. So I went to the Strawberry Festival and there was a concert at the Strawberry Festival for Riley Green. I love Riley Green. He is a king. He absolutely crushed it last night. So hello, Ray K. Agam13 Bravo from Cali. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I'll share more about my weekend shenanigans. I also found a Bitcoin race car over the weekend at NASCAR. I almost fell on the floor. I was so freaking excited. So excited about this. So I think our spotlight today is just going to be my weekend shenanigans. But let's get into the market, shall we? I just want to say this too, before we get into any of the craziness. My heart goes out to everybody that is involved with this war. Yesterday out of Tampa, there was news from Central Command that 4 service members passed away over the weekend, and that is just absolutely devastating. And being here, but living near a base as well, it's so wild to me, getting to know all of my military friends and just seeing how they just selflessly serve our country, and they don't, they know that it comes at the risk of facing the consequences of fighting a war. And it just, my heart goes out to them. And I've been stressing all weekend about my friends, especially our bestie Mona in Dubai. I've been stressing over her. And it's just crazy. And I really hope that this doesn't end up in World War III. I hope that's not where we're going. And I just want peace and love for the entire world. But realistically, that doesn't always happen. So yeah, my heart goes out to everybody, all of my innocents that are out there. And yeah, I just pray for the innocent, and I just pray for peace and a spiritual revelation amongst every single person that wants to lift a weapon. So that's all I wanted to say on that. We'll get into more Iran stuff and Bitcoin price action in just a moment. I just wanted to throw that out there, that my heart really does go out to all the innocents and everyone that was impacted and is going to be impacted by this war. Next, let's get into the market recap. We got Kite and Power losing power, down 8% over here. HTX, aka Huobi, is up 5.4%. Morpho's up. Jupiter is nearing these multi-month highs, I believe. Yep. When was this? Does it say? Yeah, February. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing quite well for near. Let's check out Bitcoin. Again, we are still in range, but what's the door we keep trying to knock on? It's at 68.7, 68.8. Over here, let's look at our other chart. We're at $67,000 clean. Oh, yep. Oh, we're battling 67K at the moment. We're up around 2% right now. Again, we really want to hit that 67.7, 67.8. Bullish is 69K. Even below that, we're looking at that 63.4. Even below that is the wick low we have to 60K, which again, I feel like we're just lingering here. Like if we don't pop through that 69K, we might just default back to 60. Over here, we do have Christmas tree action is like my phrasing. Again, this is my terminology because I'm just I'm a little bit crazy. You can put noodle emojis in the chat if you support my craziness. But what I like to call Christmas tree action is the mix of red and green dots over here on the momentum, which means we got volatility. We got emotions. We got emotions. Everyone's up, everyone's down, everyone doesn't know where we're going to go. So there's a lot of buyers and sellers. I feel like the bulls and bears are really battling right now. However, most recently over here yesterday, ironically on a Sunday, which really doesn't happen often, we got a green dot printed on that momentum, pushing that up. money flow is at lows we haven't seen since December. We also have the VWAP that is making a really nice move to the upside. We really love how it crossed the zero line with confidence. We hope that keeps the momentum up. We also have the RSI that's chopping it up, but we are mid-bear. I would say what we're doing, and we're slowly building here. I love what we're doing. So I think Bitcoin's doing just fine. Everyone, I believe that maybe like this, majority of this violence throughout the world is being priced in. And I think Bitcoin's doing absolutely fine. Like whatever Bitcoin does is like what it would do anyway, in my opinion. I think Bitcoin is doing absolutely spectacular. You would think if everyone's blowing each other up, then Bitcoin would be at 30K and the whole world would be over. So that's not the case. Bitcoin is holding strong. And if you were looking at this chart, you would not know that there is a worldly political collision happening. I'm really trying to avoid certain words. I don't know if you're noticing that. I just really don't want this podcast to be kaplood. You know what I mean? So please smash the like. Do your girl a favor. We're going to do a like blitz. I think we're due for one of those. So if you didn't like the stream, kindly unlike it, like remove your like, and then we're going to do our own likes in a minute. Like everyone's going to go and like it at the same time. So unlike the stream, unlike it, remove your like, and then we're all gonna like it at the same time. So we're gonna get into our breaking news headlines, and it's really wowing me. It's really wowing me. Let's do this. People are debating whether the Bitcoin bottom is in or if it's near. Well, apparently people are comparing it to gold and saying that if we're measuring against gold, the bottom might be in. This is a weird narrative, in my opinion. Very, very odd narrative. And this is just human psychology, but we'll get into that in a moment. Bitcoin's path to a market bottom could come as soon as next month if the gold-denominated Bitcoin price is any indication, according to Roni, head of research at the largest Brazilian crypto exchange, aka Mercado Bitcoin. In dollar terms, the most recent peak occurred in October at about 126K. If the current quote-unquote cycle, which I don't believe exists, follows past patterns, the downturn could extend into late 2026. But when priced in gold, the timeline shifts. Bitcoin reached its high against gold in January of 2025, applying the same 12 to 13 month pattern would place a potential bottom around around February, with the recovery possibly beginning now in March. It is now a new month. The divergence reflects broader macro forces, and we do have ongoing military conflicts. We have uncertainty everywhere, and apparently capital has rotated into Bitcoin, and so I believe this is true. Like, I believe that a lot of people are putting their money in Bitcoin. Why? Because I don't want my money tied to government, to, like, even what we have right here. Where's my hand? Okay. Even what we have right here, which is the prices Bitcoin, Litecoin, ETH. These are dollar prices. Like, if we're really locked into crypto, we're not necessarily caring about the dollar to Bitcoin ratio. What do we care about? The Bitcoin standard and Bitcoin to Litecoin, Bitcoin to ETH. That is the real chart. Those are the real charts. The Bitcoin standard. That's what we need to lock into. And that's what a lot of people are entering. Being that, again, you look at Iran. Iran had a major currency collapse. Their currency is worth nothing. Absolutely nothing. And why is that? Because there was a rebellion against the regime at the beginning of the year. And now you see where that has escalated to. Why would you want your money tied to any of the countries, including us, that are getting into pa-pa-pas? And the answer is, you know what? That's what we're doing right now. Why are we going to tie all of our net worth to that? Why are we going to tie our net worth to a currency that is literally used for weaponization? And so, again, am I saying that the war is unnecessary? Am I saying it's necessary? I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that if we start escalating this to a point of WW3, yeah, we want to make sure we're hedging against macroeconomic chaos and have a currency that is not tied to a government or their shenanigans. Okay? This is what I'm stressing to everybody. And this is why people really have to lock into Bitcoin right now. It's more important. It's more important now than ever, I would say. Because again, once you have war, once you have all these things that happen, oh, banks collapse, currencies collapse, inflation. Oh, we got to print so we can pay for more ba-ba-bas. Like, no, it's ridiculous. No. This is propaganda we simply do not subscribe to. I'm telling you that right now. All of this is an absolute show. It's a show. And are people getting impacted by it? Yes. Because us, everyday Joe Schmoes, and even our poor military men and women, they're just used as just little pieces on the chessboard. And their life is almost insignificant. And that's what really, all right, I have to stop diverting here. But that's what really like grinds my gears about the whole thing, especially because I'm friends with a lot of people that, again, are in the Air Force and the Navy and all these things. And I just don't trust the government to keep their interests at heart. I really don't. And I was hitting up all my friends over the weekend. Are you getting deployed? Are you getting deployed? Prayers. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous what's going on. And it just stresses me out. It freaking stresses me out. Ugh, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any military friends, family. If you're in the military, like, my heart goes out to you, man. It is so difficult. It is so difficult. Now, Iran, their crisis is kind of pulling into question, like, what is going on with their crypto economy? Now, going back to what I was telling you before, and I reported on this about a month and a half ago, I want to say, and I made a bunch of videos on it. It popped off on Twitter, like, it went viral. And the fact is that, again, their currency collapsed. It is worth nothing. So what did people do? Especially because the regime, radicals over there, they're like, oh, let's just shut off the internet. And let's make sure nobody can get involved with touching money or communicating with each other. Because if people are communicating with each other, that means they'll find someone outside of Iran to spread the real news to, and then we'll actually know what's happening. So what were people doing? They were using BitChat from Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey, a lot of people aren't really nice with him right now. They're not really big fans of him right now because he just laid off half his company. However, BitChat is one of the best things that happened for Iranians. Why? Because they were able to send messages, encrypted messages back and forth, as well as transact with Bitcoin via Bluetooth mesh networks. So you have the app. Bestie down the street has the app. Everyone could chat, they could send money back and forth. And then when the internet came back, all those transactions were broadcasted onto the blockchain. So genius, right? So what's going on with their crypto economy? Are people really fleeing to Bitcoin? The obvious answer is yes. But let's hear what this article has to say. Now, fresh U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran have drawn new attention to a financial network Tehran has built in parallel to its battered banking system, Bitcoin mining, and a fast-growing stablecoin economy. Iran legalized crypto mining in 2019, allowing licensed operators to use subsidized electricity in exchange for selling mined Bitcoin to the central bank. Bitcoin has served as a tool for paying for imports and selling trade outside the dollar system, even if indirectly. Estimates in recent years have put Iran's share of global Bitcoin mining power between 2 and 5%. Blockchain analytics firm Chainalysis found that Iran's crypto ecosystem reached $7.78 billion in 2025, growing faster than the year before. That figure is as large as the GDP of some smaller countries such as the Maldives. And that's where the Trumps are building their hotels, their tokenized hotels. Remember that. Very interesting they're throwing it in here. Now, separate analytics or analysis by Elliptic found Iran's central bank accumulated at least $507 million in Tether back in 2025, likely to study the rial in finance trade, which again failed because the rial lost more than 96% of its value against the US dollar. Again, I told you guys about a month and a half ago, the rial died. Like, it is literally worth absolutely nothing. It is so freaking wild. And so they cut the power, they cut everything. So of course, Iran as a country, the government is like, okay, we need something that's other than the rial because our currency sucks. So then they're like, oh, let's maybe go over to Tether. But the thing is Tether is again, US dollar stablecoin, meaning that they're besties with three-letter agencies over here, which is blatant out in the open, right? And what do? If they don't like you, they don't like what you're doing, and if you're deemed a dangerous individual, then they will turn off your digital dollars. Like, you will not be able to access Tether. So Iran has to be real smart about this, because Tether could literally freeze their assets. Plain and simple, done. And that's why they're probably mining Bitcoin, because they're like, oh, we need something that we can move anyway. But these doo-doo-doos, of course, they got to think about how, oh, if we're moving Bitcoin, everyone's going to know where the money is going anyway. Why? Because Bitcoin is transparent and it is an open ledger. Anyone can see where the money's going on the blockchain. They see their wallet, okay, Iran, moving money here, moving money there, moving money here. So it's very, very silly of them to go and try to use crypto. Although they could technically use the money, they could technically move that Bitcoin, it probably won't get them that far. So that's also something that is going on within the crypto economy in Iran. So that I thought was very important. It's something people have to know. Now we also have Polymarket, which, oh wow, I really don't know how I feel about like the ethics of some of these polls that like people have going on, and like, oh, who's gonna win the war, who's gonna, like, I literally don't know how I feel about that. Like, ethically, like, it hurts my feelings that people are like, oh, let's bet money on people's lives and kaplows. Like, that is just so wild to me. However, the state of the world is all about money. It's about greed. So Polymarket attracted a record trading world volumes over $500 million over the US-Iran WAR. I cannot, oh wow, I'm so mind blown by this. I am so mind blown. I had to show it to you guys. Like, this was just too much. It took Polymarket less than 24 hours to turn a Middle Eastern war into an active trading floor, which, I don't know, the ethics are wild on this. Since the US and Israel launched strikes on Iran Saturday, the prediction market has seen a flood of new contracts covering everything from ceasefire timelines to whether the Iranian regime will collapse by June, which is wild work, such wild work. And look at this, like, oh, would this guy be the supreme leader by this time? Like, why? Like, that is so, wow. And so bettors aren't just wagering on whether the conflict escalates, but pricing the week it ends. Who replaces Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and whether U.S. ground forces enter Iran by March 7th. Which, again, as it was explained to me, for men to be actually physically boots on the ground in Iran, they got to go through different countries. They got to go from desert, mountains, desert, and then they get to Iran, right? So somewhere in that order. There's mountains, there's deserts, there's things in between. Bottom line, it's not easy to get to Iran, which is why they're placed there. Again, there's so much surrounding them that if you are coming, they will see you. They will know you're entering their space, right? So we're betting on men going boots on the ground in Iran. Please, like, that is holy wow. Their largest completed market is Khamenei out as supreme leader of Iran by March 31st, which resolved to 100% after Iranian state TV confirmed his death on Saturday. That contract pulled $45 million in volume, making it one of the most traded geopolitical markets in the past week. The top trader, an account called Corsaia, made $757,000 on a yes bet. 4 other traders each cleared 6 figures. The chart on that market hovered between 25 and 50% through January and February as tensions built, and then spiked vertically to 100% when confirmation came through. And then the biggest market is whether the US strikes Iran by ... contract, which has been live since December 22nd, has now pulled $529 million in total volume, making it one of the largest single markets Polymarket ever hosted. Like, hey, yo. Like, wow, that stresses me out. Gifting suspended for 10 minutes on TikTok. This behavior is not in line with our policies. Gifting is suspended due to 10 minutes. Reason is limited interaction. Are you actually freaking kidding me? TikTok is like, oh, you can't make money now. Hold on. That's so wild. I freaking hate TikTok, bro. I appealed it. I appealed it. See, the censorship is so wild and it's right in front of your face. You know what? TikTok, ba ba ba. You know what I mean? Like that is ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. We're heated. Okay. I'm gonna take my iced coffee. We're gonna take a sip. And I need heart emojis in the chat for peace. Let's lock in. We're going to Hong Kong now. We're going to Hong Kong. that's what we got. So we're gonna pivot from Iran for a little bit. All right. So Hong Kong is linking with Shanghai trade authorities to put cargo data on blockchain, and this is just an example of where we're going. Like obviously supply chain, your medical records, everything is going to be on blockchain. It's just a matter of time, right? It's proof of authenticity. It's traceable. It's authentic. But of course, Hong Kong's got to get their little hands in it. Hong Kong is doubling down on its role as China's financial bridge, signing a new agreement with Shanghai authorities to build cross-border blockchain rails for cargo trade and trade finance. And I do not like when people tell me, oh, China and Hong Kong are not the same. They're the same. This literally just told you they're the same. The memorandum of understanding between the HKMA, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, these freaking evil people, and the Shanghai Data Bureau and the National Tech Innovation Center for Blockchain announced Monday afternoon in Hong Kong to formalize plans to develop a shared digital platform linking trade data, electronic bills of lading, and financing systems. This MOU signals growing adoption of Bitcoin in real-world plumbing, targeting $1.5 trillion in annual cargo finance, where paperwork and jams still cost a lot of delays and fraud. By plugging mainland cargo data into Hong Kong's international-facing infrastructure, this aims to reduce friction in cross-border trade while reinforcing the city's status as the primary conduit between China and global capital markets. Now, this initiative is going to explore the use of electronic bills of lading and blockchain-based documentation to streamline trade finance while connecting with Hong Kong commercial data interchange and Cargo X to facilitate secure data sharing. Now, if this is all successful, this platform would embed Hong Kong deeper into mainland supply chains while offering international investors and banks a compliant way to trade or get the Chinese trade data. And in doing so, the city is attempting to turn blockchain from a pilot project into a core cross-border financial infrastructure. China doesn't like Bitcoin. China doesn't like blockchain.
Oh my God!
Bruh.
I love how the CCP works. They're like, hey, yo, Hong Kong, do our dirty work for us, will ya? And we'll just say it's you. But it's really us. And then all these naive people are like, yeah, let's write articles about it. This is so bullish. Oh my gosh. Zoning in for peace. We have European banks, which I literally, this also is so wild to me. The European banks are like, oh yeah, we're going to experiment with stable coins and it's going to be so awesome. But what's the real goal? What's the real goal? Central bank digital currencies. That's the goal. The digital euro, the digital pound. That's where we're going. So them telling you, oh yeah, the EU is just opening their arms to stablecoins, they're lying to you. Because the digital euro is done on the retail and wholesale level. It's done. Oh, sorry guys, I got so locked in. Let's do a like blitz. Hold on. Can everyone like the stream real quick? Can everyone like the stream? In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, pump it up, smash the like. Sorry, y'all. I was so locked in. I forgot about the likes. Please smash the like on this lovely podcast. Thank you. Okay, Europe. Covalis, a consortium of major European banks, is in advanced talks with crypto exchanges and liquidity firms to distribute its planned euro-pegged stablecoin, according to Spanish business newspaper Cinco Dias reporting. Now, the group, including banks such as ING, UniCredit, and the recent addition of BBVA, which is one of the biggest ones in Spain, one of the biggest banks in Spain, they're moving toward the launch of a stablecoin in the second half of 2026. The consortium is now reportedly in advanced discussions with crypto exchanges, market makers, and liquidity providers. The shareholder banks themselves will also be able to distribute the stable. Now, the news comes after the banks first announced the consortium back in September, with the 9 initial members, including ING, Uni, Danske Bank, and a few other ones. And even you could see KBC, SEB, like a lot of them are not just from like they're all over Europe. These are multiple countries that we're talking about here. Now, Jan, the Covalis CEO and former head of Coinbase in Germany, said the consortium is considering partnerships with both European and international partners. He said, with BBVA joining the consortium, we have another European heavyweight joining the ranks. As this grows, we see more momentum for the development of different use cases across all kinds of client segments within the European financial sector and beyond. So this is like a major institutional push. And I would hope, by the grace of God, that it only remains a stablecoin in Europe. A actual digital euro, like a CBDC, like something issued by the central banks directly to consumers, is the mark of the beast. It is the end. You are clipped, because they will censor every single thing you do. Just like in China, we talk about that a lot. I showed you the videos that this girl, she went to China. She wasn't set up with her digital freaking commie yuan. And what happened? Well, she wasn't able to spend anything. And if they don't like you, and if your social credit score goes too low because you crossed the street a second too early, then you won't be able to spend your money. It is digital and financial starvation. Because if they don't like you, they don't like what you're doing, then they will discontinue your money. You won't be able to spend it. And you know what? Then you can't feed your family. And they could even have something that your money expires. Oh, you get paid this week? Oh, you know what? In 2 weeks, your paycheck is going to expire, so you better spend it. You better spend it. At least companies in the US are still bullish on Bitcoin. And you guys even went there over the weekend. I saw on the Discord, Steak and Shake. Did you know Steak and Shake had a Bitcoin burger? They released it last year when they initially announced that you could go to Steak and Shake, grab a Bitcoin burger or anything there, and pay with Bitcoin over Lightning Network. Savage. Love it. Might have to do it just for funsies. Now, Steak and Shake also announced a while back that they're going to have an account like for their employees to earn Bitcoin on top of their wage. And I believe it's like vested for a few years before you could go and claim it. But nonetheless, if you're working at Steak and Shake, you are earning some Bitcoin on the side. Now, starting March 1st, this was a new announcement. All hourly employees will earn that bonus of 21 cents an hour. And they also offer a $1,000 contribution to Trump accounts supporting their employees' children, which I would say is a very savage move by Steak and Shake, I have to say. We aim to be a maximum wage employer in our respective communities. We look to pay the best to obtain the best so we can give the best. We take care of our employees, who then take care of our customers, and then the results take care of themselves. And I gotta say, Steak and Shake is fire. I'm a big fan of the Steak and Shake, and I like a nice little cheeseburger once in a while. I also very much fancy their milkshakes and their buffalo sauce. Their buffalo sauce, I gotta say, is so fire, and they give you like a good amount. Like their cup of it is like this big, it's not like a little like weenie little packet. It's not a weenie little packet. No, like they actually give you a full-on buffalo sauce. And you know what? Thank you, Steak and Shake, because I grab 3 of those in order and I take it home and I do a little dippy on the side, little extra dippies when I need it. So thank you, Steak and Shake. We love buffalo sauce. They're like, listen, certain places don't have a good buffalo sauce. And they probably don't even, some places don't even have it. They just have hot sauce. And you know what I don't vibe with? I like buffalo sauce. I like hot sauce with my eggs. That has to be. Like, I will not eat eggs now without like Tabasco or Cholula or Crystal, which is another hot sauce I found down here that I didn't see up north. And it's fantastic. I think it blows all of them away, to be honest. Frisco melt, I've tried. The Frisco melt is fire. I try to, they have like this garlic burger or something. Like you order it and like it's like this garlic stuff on top. Oh my gosh. So someone got, I was with somebody, they got it and I was like, I need a bite of that. So I stole a bite of their garlic burger. It was fantastic, I have to say. I've been thinking about that for a while. But it seems like Michael Saylor just keeps thinking about Bitcoin. Strategy announced this morning that they did buy, indeed, another 3,000 Bitcoin. Well, everyone's coming after Michael. Oh, you think you're going to keep buying, Michael? Your average price is right where Bitcoin is right now. Not anymore. Strategy has acquired 3,015 Bitcoins for about $204.1 million at about 67.7K per coin. And as of March 1st, they hodled 720,737 Bitcoin, acquired for $54.77 billion at about 75.9K per Bitcoin. Schiff, I can't with this dude. We have to do the Schiff comment. He goes, congratulations. We have to do it in the Schiff voice. Congratulations. Your average price is back below 76K, but your unrealized loss keeps growing as you average down a losing trade. Meanwhile, the gold you could have purchased instead keeps rising, now above 5,400. You know what, Schiff? I'm not, we're moving on. I'm not a mean person, and that's not what this podcast is about. Let's not talk about him anymore. I can't talk about Schiff. He lights me on fire a little bit. We do have SpaceX though. This was one of the big things too. There's controversy over SpaceX. There's also controversy over the platform X, which we're going to dive into in a moment. First though, SpaceX, they have their Bitcoin stash, which is actually, it's gone down in value, and they're IPOing. So, do you think SpaceX will sell their Bitcoin? Put a one or two emoji, one or yes emoji, two or no emoji. Do you believe that SpaceX is going to sell off their Bitcoin? I would love to know. One or yes or no emoji. Yes or one emoji, two or no emoji. Do you think we're going to have a SpaceX sell-off? I don't know. I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. I think Elon knows what's best for him, and that's to keep his Bitcoins and maybe buy more Bitcoins. SpaceX has held Bitcoin for years without ever having to explain why the public market, why to their investors. And apparently that has to change because they're going to go public. And Bloomberg reported late Friday that Elon's rocket and satellite company is targeting a confidential IPO filing with the SEC, keeping it on track for a June listing that would be the largest in history. The company is expected to seek a valuation of $1.75 trillion and raise as much as $50 billion, eclipsing Saudi Aramco's 2019 record of $29 billion. Buried inside the filing would be that 8,285 Bitcoin. According to Arkham Intelligence, SpaceX's identified wallets held about $554.8 million in Bitcoin as of Saturday, spread across 43 addresses in Coinbase Prime custody. And this remained roughly stable around the 8,300 Bitcoin mark since early of 2026. But the dollar value has, of course, gone down a little bit, and it was originally ahead of this planned listing. The stack was worth that 780 mil, but now it's about that $545 million. So that's a $235 million decline over the last 3 months. I don't think that matters, and I don't think they're going to sell their Bitcoin. It would be honestly a little silly of them to do that. So I would say maybe they'll even buy more. That would be spicy. But if they did buy more, I think it would probably set off investors. It would probably push them back a little bit, maybe bring some unwanted shenanigans. So what I could picture though, realistically, is SpaceX IPOing and then them buying more Bitcoin after that, just so people can't get upsetty spaghetti over it. X though, so we just talked about SpaceX. They're going to go public. Let's chat about actual X. X wow, people got spicy over the weekend. And I have to say, I wanted to get spicy too. I held back though, because I was like, this is going to play out. It's going to be fine. And so X put out this new policy, which is like you have to disclose paid posts, which I like we do here every day. Like, hey, these are our sponsors, Cake Wallet, Cipher, Uphold, But some people on X are going to accept a lot of money for meme coins and then promote this meme coin to their community and a ruggy. That is not cool. We don't like that. So they have this new paid disclosure tab that when you post a tweet, there's a flag that you could click, and there's a tab that you also click that says paid disclosure. And I do that on Instagram, like on TikTok, it has that feature. X was missing that feature. And whenever you like do hashtag partner, hashtag anything, it doesn't get promoted. Like X doesn't like hashtags anymore, apparently. So that's a different conversation. I'm just drifting. Now, X originally put out this list of things that are prohibited for you to promote. And one of them was anything related to crypto, which I thought was blasphemy. I was like, no way. Because like, I don't understand how some people could promote a makeup product and that's fine and earn like, you know, affiliate, whatever on their makeup products that they're promoting, but you can't promote a crypto exchange. Like, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But I knew that wouldn't last long because the outrage was raging. And so now X said, all right, you know what? You could promote crypto stuff, except if you're in the EU or the UK, which that's not cool. Social media platform X has lifted its global ban on paid crypto and gambling promos under a new labeling policy, but ads remain restricted in certain jurisdictions, including the UK, the EU, and Australia. Under the updated rules, influencers are responsible for ensuring paid crypto partnerships are not visible in those markets which have stricter financial promotional laws. And this was one of the major problems that even Coinbase had in the UK, because the UK has this whole advertising agency that said to Coinbase, we don't like your advertisements because you're telling everyone that our economy sucks and crypto is going to make it better, which is true. However, it still didn't stop the UK from yelling at Coinbase. So it actually makes sense that people aren't able to go ahead and promote crypto stuff in the UK or the EU. Although, again, is that really a free market? Does that really say to your citizens like, hey, you could work wherever you want and do whatever you want? The answer is no, because if I was doing what I was doing in the EU or the UK, I'd be cooked at the moment. And so like that's not cool whatsoever. But on top of that, we do have the paid disclosure thing, which is major, but crypto promos are not banned in the US, which is really all that matters to me. And then we also have the fact that Elon is pushing X money, which is probably going to integrate crypto. So it would be actually foolish for him to not allow crypto promos when he's going to enter the space anyway. So that's the little tidbit on the X controversy over the weekend, and everything is going to be okay, except if you're in the EU, the UK, or Australia, because apparently you can't have free speech, you can't make memes, and you can't have money that really belongs to you, or else you're just going to get arrested. Quite simply. What time is it? Let's get into coins to watch. Got gainers and losers. Near's up 11.8%. Morpho up 11.5%. Jupiter up 10%. Virtual up 7.3%. Layer 0 up 5.7%. Kite is flying down. She's hitting the ground, down 13%. Pippin, not pimpin', we're down 4.6%. Decredit's down 3.7%. We also have that World's Liberty down 1.4%. MATIC is down 1.7%. Let's look at ETH trying to hold that $2,000 ETH. Oopsie, sorries. Let me go over here. What we're really trying to push through is exactly where we're at right now, which is around 2030. We're at $2,023. We're up 4.3%. Ideally, holding over $2,000 is where we want to be. We do have a green dot printing on the momentum, pulling us up. VWAP is pumping, which we love. However, the money flow is continuing to decline, just like Bitcoin. We have a really nice bounce with the RSI, a little bit of a pullback, but we're chopping it up. Seems like we might be going towards that neutral. I hope that we do. Litecoin, guys. Litecoin. Oh, it's the right coin. And everybody loves Litecoin. Put Litecoin in the chat. Love Litecoin. Hello, Crypto Princess. Nice to see you. Litecoin is literally ranging. She's the same. 43 bearish, 64 bullish. Fresh green dot, though, printed on Market Cipher. We see the VWAP pivot starting excuse me. We see the VWAP pivot happening here. Nice push right here. Let's see if this green dot confirms and plays out. So I think we're doing pretty beautiful. I think Bitcoin's keeping calm. She's hodling on. We're going to be okay. In addition, I wanted to show this to you guys. Hold on. So I did some craziness over the weekend. I'm a little crazy. You know your girl's a little whacked out. So I don't know. I'm just living life out here. You know what I mean? And I decided to go to NASCAR over the weekend. Let me go get my strawberries. Hold on.
Randi Hipper. I'm a Bitcoin bestie.
Just waking up from a night stream. Bitcoin pumping on a live stream. Smile shine brighter than a high beam. Ever seen live trading on a widescreen? Bitcoin showing you.
Okay, y'all, hold on. I gotta make sure this doesn't fall. Okay, guys. So I went a little bit bananas over the weekend. Or I went a little berry. You know what? Maybe I just won't make jokes anymore. Maybe I won't. Maybe they're just not hitting. But over the weekend, I got dragged into going to NASCAR. And this was so wild to me. I had to go to NASCAR in Florida, and it was a mix of IndyCar and NASCAR. So it was like the IndyCar qualifying. It was a NASCAR like truck race. I was like, oh my gosh, there's trucks. This is wild. It was so loud. Like I walked in there, I went with somebody, and then they're like, Randy, you need earplugs. Like, here's earplugs. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what am I, a freaking weenie? Like, I don't need earplugs. Oh, no, you need earplugs. Because I noticed everyone else was wearing them. I was like, oh. And then, like, the cars went zoom, 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 zoom. I was like, whoa, that was crazy. So your girl got active. So Saturday, I was running. Not really running. I was in the back. I was walking. But I went to a run club. And then I got dragged into NASCAR, which was absolutely phenomenal. I had the best time ever because I walk in and I see there's a Bitcoin company sponsoring this. And I haven't heard of this company before. But there's this whole section of the NASCAR event that was solely for this Bitcoin company. I saw Bitcoin on this vehicle. I literally almost collapsed. I told my friend that I was there with, I was like, dude, how did you not tell me that this was here? He was like, I didn't know this was here. I was like, oh my word. So I took a picture with this car. I was like, no way. They wouldn't let me sit in it. But then, look how sick this thing was. Yo, look how sick this was. I have my Bitcoin race car, vroom vroom. I was losing it. I lost it. On top of that, so I found my Bitcoin car. I was so ecstatic about it. And then I decided to harass people and do on the street interviews, which is a little throwback. Now, I know this is an IndyCar, but it was a mix. It was a NASCAR IndyCar event. It was a mix of both. I know that's an IndyCar. I learned what pistons were over the weekend, and I learned like a V6 means you actually have 6 pistons in the vehicle. I get it. Like I learned a lot. I learned a lot about vehicles this weekend. I actually freaking loved it. Like I love cars. I love seeing cars. I like going to car shows, but I've never been to like a racing event. Oh my word, that was like the most exciting thing of my life. So I went and did this thing. I started to harass people and I did some interviews. They were interesting, I'll tell you that. So I'm going to try to be posting them throughout the week. But I wanted to just be very conscious of the macroeconomic craziness and the political madness. So I just want to be conscientious of that. And I'm trying to like post things to keep people positive, but I just don't want to be ignorant of the situation. So that's why I was like, maybe I'll hold off on these interviews. I'll post them though, maybe throughout the week. And then yesterday, I went to a strawberry festival, and so you have to get into the strawberry festival, and then in the festival is the concert venue for Riley Green. So Riley Green was in town yesterday. Yeehaw. I was like literally like culture shocked. Everyone was so Southern. I was Southern. I was so excited. And so obviously it's a strawberry festival. I had a side quest. I had a mission. I really wanted to get fresh strawberries from the darn source. And so the concert went a little bit longer than it was supposed to. All good. It's all right, Riley. We forgive you. And I am walking out. I said to my friends, I was like, I really want strawberries. And then as we're walking to the car, what did we see? We saw so many strawberries. And so I saw this box and I was like, how many can I buy? They're like, you have to buy the whole box. I'm like, how much is in it? They're like 4 quarts. I'm like, word. So I bought it and then I gave half of it away to my friends because I knew I wasn't going to finish it all. But dude, hold on. I got to turn this around. Hopefully I do not drop this. I'm going to put them in the fridge after this, but I wanted, when you put strawberries, like fresh strawberries in the fridge, they kind of lose like a little bit of the texture, a little bit of the flavor changes, like the profile changes. So I wanted, wow, if you guys could smell this. So, dude, look at the size of these strawberries. Shout out to Wish Farms, I guess. But oh my word. And I posted on... I posted on my Instagram story earlier and I was like, yes, this is what I did. And so if you guys want to know, this is my, I'm a tiny person, by the way, so I guess this doesn't mean much, but this is the berry, and I'm going to get a cleaner berry. This is a fat berry. Oh my God, that's a fat berry. Hold on. Oh, they're juicy. Okay, guys, look how big this berry is. It's literally the size of my hand. How cool is this? I'm so excited. This was one of the highlights of my weekend, was getting a berry. It's like, dude, these are real berries. Like, oh, I was so excited. I'm gonna put her down. See, it's so fantastic, so fantastic. So I got my berries, and then when I was there at the strawberry festival, my friends, we all got our own strawberry shortcake. So it was like a piece of pound cake, this like whipped cream, and fresh berries. It was absolutely freaking mind blowing, and I was like, wow. So that was my weekend. I went and found the Bitcoin race car, which I was like, wow. I wasn't even gonna go to this thing. I was convinced to go, and then I went, and I was like, oh, I was so meant to be here. It's not even funny. So I think it's just great how, like, you know, you're placed at the right places at the right time. And that was definitely proof of that. That was like supernatural. I was like, whoa. So thank you guys so much for being here. Stay sweet like a berry. And we're going to go into the after show right now on Discord. So don't waste any time. Go over into Discord. This is a community after show. However, if you want to be part of the show on Wednesdays and Fridays, you have to become a member of the YouTube channel. Go to Discord. It'll read that you're a member, and you'll get into the ones on Wednesdays and Fridays. But without further ado, let's get into the after show. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you have not yet, please smash the like, subscribe, share this out with friends. Have a beautiful day, a happy Monday, an amazing start to the week. Pray for all of our service members. Pray for the innocents. And we just hope that this doesn't escalate and we are not entering WW3. And I just have a lot of love. Please stay positive. We need positivity. We need light. And I hope you guys are going to be the light in the dark. So thank you guys so much. Smash the like, subscribe, share it out with friends. I will see you guys tomorrow and hop into the Discord after show. And as always, sip your coffee, eat a berry. And as always, stay zesty. Bye.
Hucksters, fraudsters.
Are you freaking kidding me? A strawberry is not a
scammers,
security.
Ponzi schemes.